Mic check. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hello Harem Podcast. I am your host, Alex Luby, and I'm joined, as always, by my horny homies, Jonathan Semrau, Anthony Luby, Luke Farnsworth, and Neil is still here with his mask, and we do still have
that's where that went.
our action figure
I've
audience.
been looking for that.
Where'd you get a plain white one?
I just had it.
Oh, that's what I wear at work.
Welcome back to the podcast, you horny fucks. It's been less than a week. It's Wednesday today. I hope your dicks are all hard. I know mine sure is.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. That's why we're on a Wednesday.
That's why my dick's hard.
You guys excited for Thanksgiving?
I sure do love, when a bunch of people come over and make a holiday saying that we all had a good time and we stole their land. I'm looking at you, white people.
America.
The first settlers.
Reservation my ass. You can reserve this cock in your mouth, retard.
Well,
So Luke, what's got your turkey stuff today?
in the words of Donald Duck.
That was actually pretty good. You sounded like Donald Duck.
Gosh.
I did it.
Oh, do it again.
I had something I wanted to say that happened this week, but like many times
been like
before,
3
I
days.
don't remember.
I mean, I have something, but it's like more of like a personal fear that I just developed. At work earlier this week, I had to. How do I describe this? So I had to crawl, to put it in the simplest of terms. So there was like this. I was in like this attic, right? And we tore a wall out, and I had to go inside the wall and cut a pipe. And it wasn't just like any wall. It was a wall stuffed with hay, insulation,
Whoa.
bird's nest.
Whoa.
What?
Why are they putting hay in the walls?
I think
It's insulation, dude.
Well, the building was built in
Keeps
like
the heat in.
Do they feed the horses through the fucking roof? Like,
There's no
what?
horses. There's no horses.
That's what you think.
Alex is like, "There's hay in here," and they're like, "Hi, what's up?"
I just go on. People are.
Dude,
But,
like, come on,
So I had to crawl in there, and
come on, Junior.
this like the width of this thing was like 12 inches.
Girthy.
Not really, because I had to crawl on my like left shoulder, like scurry 8 feet down.
Scamper, if you will.
Yeah, and I had this light with me, and the light was plugged in down three stories below, and I'm like cutting the pipe and stuff, doing my thing, and my light goes out, and it's pitch fucking black. So I'm in there, I'm like, oh fuck, and I actually like started like low-key hyperventilating because I kept thinking to myself like, if this was to catch on fire, I would fucking die because I can't get out quickly. I have to scurry backwards on my left shoulder and then try and get out.
You just bust a hole in the wall. Like the Kool-Aid man.
Well, here's the thing. It was so...
They're like, Junior, you all right? Oh, yeah! And then Alex just busts through the wall.
Like, Junior, there's a fire. He's like, "What?" You just see like his foot through the wall. He's like, "I'm stuck now."
Just cock, just boom, through the wall.
Well, I was like, while that happened, I was like plotting my escape. I was like, if this fucker catches on fire, I have a Sawzall, and there's something for me to get out. So I'm like planning my escape, and I'm like, it's not going to work. Because like I said, the thing was like 12 inches total width. So I can't like move around at all.
You don't think you could have Kool-Aid man your way out of there?
Maybe if I found the power within.
Dude, fucking adrenaline man. That'll do some
He's gonna be on his adrenaline rush and just fucking kick a 2x4 in half.
Oh, yeah.
Was it like not tall enough to
No.
stand or crouch or
No,
anything?
it wasn't straight up. It was angled. So like the bottom portion was about 12 inches, and then the more it went up, which was about 3 feet, went to zero.
Sounds
it
like my
peaked
dick,
right
am
at the
I
top.
right?
So I couldn't stand. I couldn't kneel. I literally had to crawl.
12 inches by 3 feet?
Luke,
like-
did you make a joke? Because I didn't hear it.
Are you okay? Do I need
It's very hard living with this.
Dude, you might have a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Luke's skin cells have been reproducing at a rapid rate exclusively in his cock. He thought he was growing. It's actually cancerous.
It's 12 inches by 3 feet, and it goes to a point.
It's like an arrowhead, the Native
When Luke
Americans used
pisses
to
the
make.
fire hose, he blasts a hole in the back of every porcelain throne
When
he
I
decides
piss,
to
it's like
deposit his sodium into.
When I piss, it's like a power washer, so it's like that really thin line, but there's a lot of power behind it, a lot of force.
It's 800 psi pure piss.
You need like Luke.
Dude, my dick rips in half.
Every time Luke pisses, he has to go to the ER. And they're like, we could do a surgery. We could reduce this. He's like, nah.
Keep it.
Put it back.
He's like, nah. He like starts biting his lip. Continue with your pipe cutting story in your dick-sized hole.
So I mean, I actually got claustrophobic in there, like for the first time in my life. I've crawled in like little spaces before, nothing wrong, but when the fear of me very possibly dying if something were to happen, I was like, okay, this is a little scary.
Potentially deceasing.
I just think you were playing the what ifs game.
Well,
I mean, for
here's
sure.
the thing. I was before this happened. The light came back on, and then it started smoking.
Oh, okay. So you had like a reason to be a little afraid.
So like I was like at first I was like I calmed myself down afterwards. I'm like, okay, I'll just take 3 deep breaths, and I did that, and I was like, okay, I got to finish cutting this pipe, or else it's not going to get done. I'm the only person that's small enough to fit in here.
What would they do without you?
not crawl in a small place.
Suffer.
Get that pipe up.
Maybe that's why they hired you. They're like, we need a small guy.
Yeah,
It needs to be
probably.
big enough that
I
people
fit-
don't make fun of him.
We cut this other wall open on the second floor, and nobody else could fit in it, and it was 9 inches in width. So I had to squeeze in there and then go inside a second wall.
Like, can you guys just make bigger holes?
I kind of wish like that they didn't say like, "Hey, Junior, can you crawl back there?" Like they all picked you up and stuffed you in the wall.
All right, Junior, get in the wall.
All right, get in the
And like
wall.
while he crawls in there, they start spackling it back together.
Junior to the wall dimension.
Hey, what is that poem or a short story by Edgar Allan Poe? Where
The Cask of
the Cask of
Amontillado.
Yeah, that's
Cask
you.
of Amontillado.
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 Cask of Italian
A
wort.
malted milk ball.
The barrel of wine.
The barrel
That is,
of wine, that's all it is.
What made you bring that up?
Because they throw you in a wall and start barricading you back in, just like that guy who was down there and got bricked back
Who
up.
got tied to a chair and then he bricked the wall behind
Yeah.
I
him.
forget what his name was, but
I
I
don't
can,
remember.
I can bust through drywall, no problem. But
No, it's
sure you can.
Not if it's bricks.
well, if they put bricks up, then I have a problem.
or
But if it's-
surrounded by hay. Good luck getting through that, liberals.
What if they like fucking lit a match, tossed it in there, and started fucking spackling the wall back together?
Haha, we got it.
We got a good
They're
ass.
like, they're like stuffing really dry hay into the wall behind them. Throw a match in, start filling it with bricks.
Take lighter fluid. and
Hold,
just
like duct tape a lighter down, attach it to an axe can, like go fucking zip it closed like an old, like a axe flamethrower. Toss it in there with it.
And then start putting brick wall up behind.
Just in that one spot though.
All right, Junior, if you can get out, you get a Christmas present.
Your new tools.
God saw really up their budget.
They're not even new tools. They just give you some old ones.
Just used.
It's a new thing of tools, but they're Fisher Price kids. Like your wrench.
Dude, I have a Fisher Price tool in my tool pouch.
No, you handed it to me whenever we were putting up the can light.
Oh, I did. Yeah, it's a Fisher Price wire stripper.
Or they like Junior's a little special gift.
Yeah, I called off one day and they put it in there.
Oh, the guys are so funny.
Yeah, the guys are crazy. They're kooky.
Did they laugh about it a lot whenever you found it? Like too much?
No, not really.
Did they say anything?
I was just like, "What's this?" They're like, "Oh, we put those in your tools." I'm like, "I like
Thanks.
them," and I put them back. Super.
We put him in your shoes like, haha, got his ass.
What if they made you do all of your work with only Fisher Price tools? Like you have a little plastic hammer and like they're like, all right, and you're like putting it in now. It's like squeak, squeak, squeak.
You know, I'm actually surprised Fisher Price makes plastic wire strippers. That seems really specific.
That is a
Yeah.
very oddly specific thing to be teaching kids about.
You'd think like a hammer, a saw, and
maybe
a
a
screwdriver.
You know, like
wires.
Bob the Builder ass tools,
They
not.
probably got like, what's a really crazy.
Here's your
I don't
plastic
know.
wire strippers
like
and
the
a
clamps.
What if they gave you one of those like Fisher Price current detectors?
Oh, like like the buzzy thingy.
Here you go. You can bore holes with this baby. It's like, what the fuck does that mean, Dad?
They give him an old-fashioned hand drill, like.
Honey, little Tommy's gonna grow up to be an electrician, not a fucking plumber.
Alex is like pissed. He's like, why is there a plastic plunger in my kid's toys?
Not a fucking plumber.
I specifically said my kid only plays with the wire strippers.
Oh, I clogged up a toilet real good one time.
We've all been
The
there.
whole story.
Did you say true story?
No, you said that's the whole story.
I mean, there is more, but I was at somebody's house who listens to this podcast, so we're gonna not tell them that
Oh
happened.
man.
It
Well,
was fucking.
do
good,
they
though.
know what happened?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Speaking
no.
of clogging toilets, I almost shit myself this morning.
Please do go on.
I was taking my exam that I told you guys about that I definitely didn't get 2 of the 3 questions right on. So that was epic.
Wait, did you say 3 of the 2 questions?
2 of the 3
2 of the
questions.
3.
Man wrote his own question. He got it wrong.
I'm just sitting like, yeah, I don't like this question. This is the new one.
Hey, Professor, this is out. This is
I
out.
redlined it.
Write your own question, and you're like, all right, and then you just write, I don't know. Underneath.
I pulled out a rose art crayon and just scribbled it out.
Yo,
Rose art.
I didn't even get a good Crayola crayon. It's a rose art fucking crayon. Fuck rose
Wait,
art.
tell your story, and then I have something that I did too.
So I was sitting there and I was like, man, it sucks that this exam's right now and it's 2.5 hours. I really got to poop. Oh, well, I'll get through the first question in enough time to go take a shit before the next question because he set it up really retarded. So I was like, all right, that's fair enough. The first question took me all 45 minutes to solve and I still didn't even finish solving it. And I was like, epic swag. Time to go.
Swag.
So he gets the second question. I look at it. I fucking draw the circuit on my goddamn piece of paper. My stomach goes, and I go, I'm going to shit. And I swear to God, I got up, I sprinted out of the fucking room. My camera was on. They definitely saw me run out of the room like there was a fire in the house.
Wait, your
the
camera?
toilet.
was on?
Yeah, I had to keep my webcam on
Oh,
for the
you
whole
did-
test.
I keep thinking like you're at
in
school
class.
doing it. Yeah.
I wish you would have said the Minecraft background.
It was on WebEx. It wasn't on Teams though. If it was on Teams, I definitely would have had the Minecraft background.
Dude, there was the one time where viewers at home, Luke was telling me he had a fucking meeting later in the day, and so I sent him the picture of the fucking Pornhub casting couch.
The black
And
letter.
yeah, and I said,
Oh my
send this into your background. Fucking like 2 hours later, the Mad Lad sends me a picture of him sitting on his meeting, and you can see the fucking Pornhub room behind
So
him.
the best part
It
about
was
that,
so good.
I was in
I
a
love it.
personal meeting with that, so it was just my team, and Ross was like, haha, I get it, but I'm not going to say what it is because you don't do that. The very next day, I forgot to unset it. So I had a meeting with like the quote unquote professor of the class.
Oh, he
And
knew.
I opened it up and he goes, oh, that's a nice couch you got in the background. I went,
You go.
I was like,
Teen.
I was like, sure is, bud. And I unset it. I was like, yeah.
Dude, you need to start making them like increasingly more risky to the point of where there's literally like 2 porn stars behind you, only blocked out by your head.
I should set the one with the dude that's the lampshade with the lampshade on his
Oh,
head.
that'd be a classic.
That'd be good. Or you could set it to the one where it's the Piper Perry.
Piper
video.
Perry with
There's all those dudes surrounding her.
5 black guys
And
with
you're sitting where she was.
I'm just like,
And you sit there in a pink t-shirt with a unicorn on it the whole time.
and I just stare. I don't say a single word. I just stare at the camera.
Jay, did you have a story?
I did, yeah.
We got a little off the
We
track.
got a little horny. So I also had an exam today, but I did not shit my pants.
I didn't shit my pants.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, so like, here's how the skizzy went down on the 411. So I was taking my exam,
Whoa.
and so my exam was not 2 hours and 45 minutes. Mine was only an hour and a half, and it was 100 questions of multiple choice about anticholinergic and cholinergic drugs, and then another 20 questions of dosage calculations. So I like finished the multiple choice in like 45 minutes. Like, I got that done fast as fuck. The math is what takes a long time. So I got through, and I get to this one question where I can't figure out what she wants to label on this. Like, one question. And so I do all the math on it, and I'm like, well, this changes entirely because she'll mark me wrong if I do the wrong label. So I circled real big on the part where, like, it showed like a syringe, but you couldn't see the labeling on it. So I circled it real big and wrote, what label is this? And I put -1 point next to it, like I was grading her. And then on my answer, I put both possible labels. So I put milligrams and milliliters next to it. And so we'll find out next week if she thought that was funny or disrespectful.
That's a pretty big
Is
power
she a
move.
cool teacher?
Yeah, she's delightful.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't think she'll do anything,
She's
but
like-
she'll get a laugh out of it.
Jay gets his exam back. He's like, oh, we have a funny guy here, -10. It's just fucking.
Oh, you think you're fucking funny, huh, Samuel?
Yeah. You know what? Boom, you're out of the program. You know why? I'm not only your pharmacology professor, she's also the director of the program.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So,
What a funny meme. Haha. Guess what? You failed the test.
funny meme, haha. I know only 40 people got into this program. Now there's only 30 of you left.
It's about to be
Gamed on.
29.
No, there's 31 of us now.
Oh.
9 people have been removed since the program
You
started.
made me look like a
Chicago.
goof in front of the audience.
No.
Okay.
See, Alex, I have self-respect and dignity, unlike you.
I'm just not good at math.
Fucking troglodyte.
I'm not good at math either.
I'm just kidding. Drink your tea. It's good for your soul.
Oh,
This
shit.
is-
Balls.
Oi, ocha.
You know what else is good for your soul?
Chicken noodle soup.
Hungry Man. Hello, I'm Jonathan Semrau. This is the 21st episode, and speaking of things that make you shit yourself, the Hungry Man brand has been around for years, and it's been feeding the hungry man and filling the hungry man's trousers.
Bring up Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. So this Thanksgiving, make sure you head on down to wherever fine food products are sold and pick up the Hungry Man Thanksgiving Delights. Hungry Man. I keep sponsoring you. And, you know, one of our maybe viewers, Josh, you know, he put you on a plate one time. And I thought that was mad disrespectful. So if you could send me about $3,000 and 45 hungry men, I could show Josh the error of his ways while also giving you quality sponsorships. And I don't know, if you want pictures of my balls, I'll send pictures of my balls. So, you know, answer my emails. This is Jonathan Semrau of the Hello Harem Podcast. Please email us at helloharempodcast@gmail.com. Send feet pics and money. Thank you.
In the off chance that Hungry Man actually does give us money,
Yes.
I think I'm going to quit the podcast.
Why is that?
Because the amount of shit we are putting them through is unbearable.
What do you mean?
You just said they fill trousers.
A lot of things fill trousers. You ever seen a hot chick and you're just like, oh, your trower filled? My asshole is directly connected to my cock, dude. When I get hard, my pants get filled. Hungry Man.
The ad just ended.
What?
Hungry Man, I want you to edge me this Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving, get edged by a frozen TV dinner at Hungry Man. We've been edging the working man for when was Hungry Man formed?
It was like the
Hungry
70s or
Man
60s.
formed.
I can't do it anymore.
Alex, the fucking hot spot's down. Hungry Man, if you could send us a Wi-Fi router and also some tampons, we'd really appreciate it. Alex here is starting his time of the month real soon, and we need to make sure that he gets clean. Luke,
Speaking of edging the working man with tampons and a router,
speaking of edging the working man with tampons and a router, I sure like
there's only one way to buy your tampons and routers this holiday season, and that's through the online shopping network. But those prices can get a bit outrageous, so you're gonna have to get some coupons. Well, look no further. Honey can help you get coupons for those tampons and that router, and no one will judge you for your purchases.
You know what I don't want on my internet history?
Edged men.
Edged men, tampons, and routers. And you know what can help me with that? NordVPN. NordVPN has been protecting the internet search histories of horny men and curious teenagers alike since 1945. I think this got out of hand.
I don't know. We started with edging the working man. And
Yeah,
it
we just
turned
gave a
into
lot
this.
of free
Can you
money
cut
away.
out everything after the honey ad and put it in the end credits?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
no, after NordVPN.
Yeah.
NordVPN has to stay.
I'll do it after
All right,
NordVPN.
after NordVPN.
I'll do it after NordVPN.
Yeah, put that in the end credits and just make like a bloopers reel, like a Pixar movie.
Can this conversation go like right in the middle so people know that it got cut out and put to the
Yeah,
end?
yeah.
I'm
I'm just gonna move the
So like
the
it's,
free money to the back.
it's just like all the free money goes to the back so that nobody watches it, but they can hear us talking right now about this conversation
But
in
if
the
they
future.
want to watch it,
Alex, can I have a
it's
drink
at
of
the
your
end
tea?
the
My
podcast.
mouth is
Yeah.
Speaking to everyone in the future, hey, what's up? What's the weather like right now? Can you tell me like right now? I'm really worried that it's gonna rain this weekend. I don't have a jacket.
It's been
Yeah.
raining all week,
I bet the
Has
weather's
it?
pretty much.
probably.
I
yeah.
haven't even
I
noticed
mean, it's
until today.
it's only Wednesday and it's rained
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Tuesday and Monday. It rained
business
Monday.
time.
Dude, I bet the weather voted for Trump.
Now you see here.
Don't you go talking to me with that accent if you don't want none back, buddy.
All right,
I
let's
don't
get
wanna
into
do
some.
Let's get into Insomnia Cookies, another one of our sponsors.
I actually love Insomnia cookies.
I have only had it once.
They're
They're
really
fuck.
good cookies.
They're good.
It does.
Are they
fuck.
that good?
Yeah, they're
You
good.
can get them at any time of the night.
I think they're
Well,
open
not
till
past
2 a.m.
10 now.
Well, not
No,
no
food is
food's open.
Food's available.
Food
Like,
open.
all night, whenever.
Yeah, I think they're open till 2 a.m.
2 a.m. is
That
not
actually
insomnia
sounds
hours.
great, but I don't want to.
The
Drive
nearest
to
one's in
Akron.
Akron.
I know, that's
so-
what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
really want to go to Akron right now.
Well, let's get into
get it
a
delivered.
real topic.
We're not getting them delivered to the airport.
Anthony, did you
We
have
don't
one?
record at the airport.
Well,
This is
hell. We
Sex
know.
dungeon.
This is hell.
this is the back of the Office Max. Thanks for letting us use the back room, Office Max, and for the $30,000 you gave us to set up. And Neil.
Speaking of $30,000, honey, can you please give me some money? I want to donate more.
Okay,
to
we gotta
Bow.
move on.
All right.
This is
I know-
this episode's just called sponsorships.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just
Who
ads.
had Anthony? I know you had something you wanted to bring up, and Luke also had something you thought of earlier.
I
this
don't
week.
know how long this will last or how knowledgeable anyone really is on this topic besides like me and Alex. But I wanted to kind of like compare and contrast trains in Japan versus trains in America. And no, it's not because I worked on
Motherfucker,
train
I've done
axles.
seen the trains in Japan.
Jay can help with this because he's ridden trains in America.
I've ridden many a train.
Well, this is kind of how I was thinking about
I've
it.
ridden
So,
a steam locomotive,
Can I just ask a question
a
real quick?
coal engine,
Johnny,
Is this
a metro.
Jay, is this brought on by Rail Romanesque?
no,
Did that show pique your interest in locomotives?
no.
Okay, you can continue. I was
The
just
show
curious.
hasn't piqued my interest in anything.
I think about bugs when I watch that fucking show and knickknacks. Anyway,
You're a knickknack.
It piqued me.
peek at me.
It edged me.
Peak of me.
Anyway, so obviously trains in America are not that big of a deal. So, you guys, who's here? Luke's been to New York. Who else? Anyone else been to New York?
Oh, I've been there a couple times.
Jay
Yeah.
has.
You guys
me,
rode the subway?
me and Jay
I
rode
have,
the
yes.
subway in Chicago too.
I've ridden the New York and the Chicago subway.
Everyone has experience on a train. I think.
Yeah.
I've only been on a train one time, ever.
They're epic.
And that was kind of the thing with it. It was like more of an experience for me, more so as a mode of transportation.
Where'd you ride the train?
I was like, it was actually when, it was like fucking 10 years ago. We went on that bike ride.
Up by Boston Mills, I think.
Yeah, we went to the Winking Lizard. We loaded our
Oh, we
bikes
rode the
on this
train
train.
back. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
about
that was more of an experience. I don't think of a train as an American as a mode of transportation. To me, it's like, oh, the fun train. Let's go get on the fun train
I think
ride.
it's just because of where we live.
I think it is as well.
Absolutely.
But in Japan, it is just like a car. It's like get on the train and go where you need to go.
It's a bigger thing in like big cities.
That's also what I was thinking about. Like they have subway systems, rails going over the city and whatnot.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems like those are still definitely not up to par.
No, they're definitely not. I think it's to have a good. I think the population density like directly translates to the quality of your train. You know.
I don't think that's true.
Well, no, because in Japan, it's like specifically Tokyo, like very dense population. They have nice trains.
Well, you're thinking too narrow because every major city in Japan has an outstanding railway system. It's not just Tokyo. And if you
Tokyo is the densest city in Japan, right?
yeah, but you take Osaka, which is I believe it's the second densest city, second largest city in Japan. Railway system's just as good.
Maybe
And like you
Japan
take a city
rail
like New
network.
York or Chicago, who are very dense cities as well, kind of ass.
Is
Yeah.
so Tokyo is like renowned for how on time their trains are. They are
Japan, just Japan, as
Japan
a
in
whole,
general.
Yeah.
are just punctual to a fucking T about when the trains arrive and they leave. I heard I watched in a video, I think it was Paolo, that if the train is like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, that is a huge number to be late. So I'm gonna go with like fucking 15 seconds because that's how punctual these trains are.
I think you could say a minute, too.
A minute. So if you're like late by that much on the train, they give you a note to give to like your boss if you're late for
Yeah,
work.
it's epic.
Seriously?
Yeah, that is. These trains are like never not on time.
That's
If
pretty
you need to
gnarly.
get something, like the times are posted, that's when you will arrive. That's when you will leave.
There's been instances where a train was late and it made the news. It was such a big deal where the news covered it.
That's fucked.
Right? I like
Yeah.
something in New York. Like if it was late by like an hour, it's like, nah, fuck, the train's out.
Yeah,
No one gives a
if
shit.
the train's late in New York by an hour, you're probably on time.
Yeah. You're happy at that
Well,
point,
yeah,
probably.
okay, we actually have a story about that. Me and Alex, when we were in Chicago, we went out for a night of debauchery upon the town, and we went to this really cool restaurant and bar. And then we rode the train back to our hotel because we were staying on the outskirts of Chicago because my grandpa had a place. And so we hop on the train on the way home, and it takes us halfway. And then some dude comes on the speaker, is like, "All right, everyone off." And we're like, "What?" And we have to get off the train. The station is fucked. They're like, "The train's not coming tonight. That's all." And so we're like, "What?" We're like, "Where do we go?" They're like, 2 stations up." So we had to walk 2 stations on the road in Chicago through a pretty fucked up area till we found a station and hopped on the train, and the train was late still.
Welcome to American Railway.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw this graph.
Look at this graph.
It's been a while.
But they were kind of comparing like if America had a Shinkansen, how like fast the times would be.
Homeless people would sleep on it.
Oh, yeah.
The homeless people could not afford to sleep on a Shinkansen. They couldn't afford to go near a Shinkansen. That's just
Whoa,
expensive.
expensive. They don't care.
They're just gonna walk on.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
I can't sleep in the dumpster of the
You
McDonald's.
think they pay to get on the trains here? They hop over the thing and they walk on.
Yeah.
I eat whatever. Anyway, so they had a Shinkansen going from like east to west coast, and like logistically thinking about that, that would be a lot of rail and materials. And that would be an absolutely astronomical project. Because
Yeah.
America's big as fuck.
We're huge.
How big like
Huge.
how big is
Huge.
Japan compared to America? Like if you were to put Japan inside the U.S., like how big would it be?
How many Japans can fit in Texas?
I think if you go from Hokkaido down to Kyushu, the bottom of Kyushu, I think it's just the size of the tip of Washington to maybe the bottom of
Actually,
California.
Luke brought up a picture. It is like
From top to bottom, it would probably go from like the top of mainland Michigan down to like the bottom left corner of Texas.
Wait, is there a picture?
Yeah. I'm
It's
gonna
actually
put
really-
that on the screen too.
it's actually super interesting.
It's fucking tiny.
You know, it's bigger than I thought.
So how many Japans can fit in Texas? You might be wondering. At least 3.
So I guess
Square
that
footage
like
wise.
that like right there is.
Because here's the thing. If you know your geography, you know where Tokyo is on that map.
I was
and
never
you
good
know
at
where it's-
There.
I was
Yeah,
never really
pretty
good
much
at
like
shapes.
It's like right in the center.
And do you
Wait.
know where Hiroshima is? On the map?
Alex,
yeah,
educate
yeah.
me. It's like there, right?
Yeah, just about.
Gamer.
And then Anthony, do you know where Hiroshima is located?
yeah, it's like,
Left corner.
Doesn't
South
exist.
on the coast of the Pacific side.
Yeah,
You're a
kinda
hole.
left corner. Like bottom left corner.
You could say that, yeah,
Oh,
but it's
wait.
on the Pacific side, not the Sea of Japan.
Huh.
actually this one's labeled with Sapporo,
Dude, Osaka
Tokyo,
would be
and
like
Osaka.
just north of Dallas if it was in
Yeah,
there.
but putting this into perspective, for those who do know geography, a Shinkansen ride from Tokyo to Hiroshima one way is just about 5 hours. If you now do that on the map of America. How far is like that distance in? Would that take like from say Canton to? Would that even take you to Virginia?
You'd be like in the middle of Arkansas to like the middle of Texas.
So like not that far.
And that's 5 hours. Imagine going from like North Carolina's coast to like Los Angeles.
Like, you could go from Sapporo to Tokyo and you'd still be inside Texas.
That's fucked. Like everybody, like I have heard the talk about people wanting Shinkansens here, but it's just not logical.
So my thought on this
It'd
was
be
like,
really fast to get around, though. I mean, you gotta
Like
think
in the short term, like if you had like an East Coast Shinkansen and like
Yeah.
a West Coast, like I think that'd be pretty good.
yeah, I
if,
think
yeah,
that's
if you
what
had
I would
shit that
think.
could take you like
Zip to zap.
Yeah, zip to zap.
Like Maine
Biggle
to
to bongle,
Maine-
dick to balls, you know, like shaft to balls, you know. If you had that, like travel time would be cut so short.
Yeah.
Zing bop to Jim.
Honestly, it looks like based on this map that like if you were to go from like Ohio to like South Carolina, because that's I've driven there the most. I know it's about like
Isn't that like
10 to 12
10 to
hour
12?
drive.
I was gonna say 13. Welcome back.
That was so soft and like gentle.
I really like Family Guy clips that are cut right before the quote unquote joke that they have. It's always funnier than the actual
Watch your
show.
mouth. Season 8 and below, we're good. Now season 36, on the other hand, they're starting to get their jokes back.
Yeah.
You hear that epic Trump joke they made the other day? Trump funny. Ha ha. Ha
Orange
ha.
Man bad.
Quagmire go giggity giggity. I fuck women.
That show just
Bazinga.
lost.
And Brian be like, I'm a liberal, and that's the whole.
That's his
That's
shtick.
his thing. And Stewie's
That's the thing.
football. That's
But Bazinga.
Right. We were on trains.
now we're on Family Guy. Family Guy.
Planes, trains, and automobiles?
Family
So
Guy
let's-
is my favorite American anime.
Fuck
Corey in
that.
the house is mine.
Forgot about Corey in that.
All right, Thorpe. What
All
were you
right,
saying?
where was I at?
North and south
Lots
something.
and
Yeah, I
lots
was
of
gonna-
planes and trains.
So if like America did get something similar to a Shinkansen, I would imagine it would go like north to south on the East Coast, north to south. I really don't think there's enough like population in the West outside of California or even cities to justify like a Shinkansen over there, because the East Coast is, I mean, the whole coast is just crazy populated. There's so
Mhm.
many big cities on the East Coast.
Mhm.
So I think I was saying the drive from like where we're at now down to like South Carolina is like 10 to 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And what it looked like on that map was a Shinkansen would cut it down to about like 6 hours, 7 hours. So just cut the times in half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
That would still be like, imagine going from, you're in Maine, right? You wanted to go down to Florida. That would be
That'd probably be
That'd be
still
like
like
a-
8 hours.
That would be like a 12, 13 hour Shinkansen ride.
Pretty
That would be-
swag
that'd
though.
be
And you
fucking
could and you
ridiculous.
could sleep like on the way there.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
guess,
get, like,
but
Food delivered to you.
People
yeah.
just fly on a plane, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
that's the
But it's
thing.
the thing about like trains and shit is it's cheaper. Like
Would
you
it
know.
really, like,
I
Think
don't
about
know.
how
distances
long
like that.
is. Like, I don't
And
think it'd be
Here's
cheaper.
here's the thing, though. It can arguably be. Who said cheaper? Or shorter time if you really think about it, because you get to the airport, you're there for like an hour and a half before your flight is supposed to take off.
yes.
okay, but like,
But I
then-
think
then
a
you
flight
tag-
from like New York to Florida is only like 2 hours or something
It's
like that.
probably
really
2.5
short,
to
yeah.
3.
yeah, but like that hour at the airport is not going to make it okay, or I don't want to say okay, is going to justify the time spent on a 13-hour Shinkansen ride. You know, that would cut it down to like, oh, I'd only be spending 9 hours on the Shinkansen. If
I don't.
could
I think
take
I'd much rather just take a train. Honestly,
I think
Scenery would be so nice.
I think a train would be like a better experience. Well, I love flying. I really like
I
do
flying.
too.
I love
I-
the act of going to the airport, getting on a
I
plane.
do too. I do too.
it's very nice.
Unless you get like an aisle seat and you're and there's shitty weather and you can't
Mhm.
see anything, then I wouldn't say it sucks, but it's not as good.
Luke has his commercial pilot license, so he knows all about like going to the airport.
I have
every day.
never been on a plane before, and I'm
You
afraid
have
of
never
heights.
been on a plane.
We've already talked about
Yeah.
We
this.
did?
in
Yeah,
our
we talked
personal
about the height.
time.
Like the thing about the heights is you don't even like notice.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was in
Yeah.
the car. we
yeah,
were
it
talking
was
about that.
personal conversation. I've never
Yeah.
been on a plane before.
But I think one thing the Shinkansen has over air travel is safety.
Oh yeah.
In the entirety of the Shinkansen's lifespan in Japan, there's never been an accident. And it was built in,
I think the 70s,
60s, 70s,
60s
something
or
like
70s.
that. Luke's going to find out for a
Yeah,
second.
I watched a video about the Shinkansen.
I did
I've
as
watched
well.
a bunch.
And I was actually like astonished that there's never been an accident
Mhm.
with a Shinkansen. I mean, if there was, it would be
Yeah.
horrendous.
1964.
For the Olympics,
Yeah,
right? It was. I think it was supposed to be built for the Olympics.
It began commercial service between Japan's two largest cities of Tokyo and Osaka. Doesn't say anything about the Olympics.
Actually, the Shinkansen was, when it was being built, I think other countries were like, Japan, what the fuck are you doing building trains? Like, we have planes, dog. And then they saw like how effective it was and how it made its money back in a span of only like a couple years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The effectiveness of the Shinkansen is super, super
Wow.
awesome.
It really depends on the country, though.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't think it'd be as effective here.
I think in Japan they use a lot more public transport, if I'm not mistaken. And whereas here, like, there are cities that use a lot of public transport, like the big cities, like New York, Chicago, the ones that have like the rail systems, they do use public transport, especially since the roads are so busy and congested all the time. But like, we have a SARTA bus in Canton.
That's what we got.
And
in
I've only
Canada.
ever seen like 3 people on it. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I think America as a whole just
Rather have
does
a car.
not- exactly.
part of the American dream.
Yeah, you own a car. There's every single fucking American owns a car.
I have a friend from Japan who I've been talking to, and she is 19, and she is just getting her driver's license this year. And I was talking to her about it, and she was just like, "Oh, I just never really did. You know, I'm getting a car." I'm like, "Do any of your friends drive?" And she's like, "No, none of them drive."
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like, all right.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can get around without a car there. Here.
Yeah,
it's kind of
absolutely.
like
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
just-
fucking walk here, bud. Get a car.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not a big deal.
Like
there.
walking from my house to the mall would be like dangerous as fuck because of the road.
Take the SARTA.
Fuck that.
Get on the bus, just dust that heroin needle
Yeah.
and that can of beans and that questionable stain off, and then
I don't want
you're
some
at the
like
mall.
homeless guy like low key dry humping my leg for money.
Give me $30.
You were right though. In 1959, ground was broken for the Shinkansen line, and in 1964, on October 1st, it began its first service between Tokyo and Osaka. So they missed the Olympics.
Oh, they missed. I think they.
Or no, the Olympics got underway on October 10th. Why'd they start so late?
I don't know. It's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I think they built them for the Olympics.
But
though.
then in the Winter Olympics in '98, they started the Kagoshima route.
Ooh,
They really like the Olympics, I guess.
it's epic, man.
Maybe
When
they're
I
gonna,
wait,
maybe
this
they're gonna
year,
build
yeah.
a new
When I-
Shinkansen line this
when
year.
I went to Japan in March of 2019, the Olympics were already plastered everywhere. Like they had like the mascots every single where.
Well, that's a big deal. They
Yeah, Olympics.
they
are huge.
decide the countries like way in advance,
Yeah.
and that's a big like if you're holding the Olympics, that's a huge deal.
At least like a year in advance.
They've even got plans for the future routes. In 22, they plan
Where
on
they going?
servicing the route between Takeo Onsen and Nagasaki. And then in 25, they're going to extend the Hokuriku Shinkansen to extend it to Tsuruga. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right, by the
I
way.
know where Nagasaki is.
I know where that. I don't know where
I've
those other
heard the name of the
places are.
onsen, but I don't know where.
Service between Shinagawa and Nagoya.
Well,
I
that's
don't
kinda-
know what any of these places are, but I hope I'm pronouncing them
I
right.
think Shinagawa. where the
Everybody who's
fuck- I know where
Japanese in the
Nagoya
comments
is.
below, please roast my pronunciations.
I know where Nagoya
Everybody
is,
in the
but I don't know
comments
Shinagawa.
that's Japanese, please send Luke $30 to fix his pronunciation and a Hungry Man sponsorship.
And to pay for my linguistic lessons.
linguistics.
They have
And
these
for Neil's
dates
college
going all the
fund.
way to 20. What is that? 2045.
2045.
What?
That's how far out they have
Service
this
on the
planned.
linear Chuo Shinkansen to be extended to Osaka.
Wow.
Let's go. They still have plans for it, or at least
Yeah.
that's crazy. They have plans this far.
Do you want to
out.
hear something crazy though? It kind of relates to public transportation. In Japan, you don't open the doors of taxis yourself. They're automatic.
That's
I don't want to
awesome.
touch a man's door. Make those automatic here.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Let's not compare our taxis.
Dude, taxis here.
Cash Cab, if you're listening, make your doors automatic.
I don't think that show runs anymore.
It doesn't.
No.
gonna say, I think that's been canceled.
They
for a long
never
time.
ran. They always drove.
American public
Shut up.
transportation compared to Japanese public transportation is incomparable.
Yeah, it's
They're
like-
just so far. There's no comparison.
How many stories do you think there are in Japan? Because I know there's a fuck ton of them out in America where the passenger gets into a fist fight with the taxi driver.
Have any of you guys taken taxis?
I've taken several, yeah.
Luke, did you in New York? You guys have been to the like big
I think
cities.
the New York taxi is iconic.
It's,
My dad almost
Yellow
got hit
cab.
by a taxi. He
my-
went to hail a taxi, put his arm out, and the dude almost hit his arm.
Taxi driver's like,
Just
fuck
he
you,
sped
asshole.
up. He fucking sped up. I was like, oh.
New York taxis are a trip, dude. I've taken them before, and it's like, yeah, it's convenient, kinda. But
Is driving
A lot
even
of money.
convenient in New York
No.
City?
No.
it's always
No.
rush hour. It takes you 40 minutes to get 3 blocks. But if you don't feel like walking, like,
Imagine being in a city where every street is one way, it's 4 wide, and it's stop and go traffic the entire time.
That sucks.
I would hate my life.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, when I was in Tokyo, even if you watch videos, like there's a bunch of people who just film walking in Japan.
yeah, I love those
Super
videos.
entertaining.
Very relaxing.
But when he's in like Tokyo, you'll notice, dude, there is so little traffic compared to even Canton, Ohio. Like,
Probably because people don't have cars.
well, they
There's
do,
a lot
but
of cars. The
there-
busiest intersection in the world is in Tokyo.
yeah, that's for walking.
Yeah, but there's cars.
Yeah, there are cars, but it's just
weird, like
but
completely avoiding.
But
the
you
point.
take a big city compared to big city, New York and Tokyo, and it's astounding the differences in traffic. It's wild because like obviously if you live in a city like that, you're gonna be like walking or biking more often because you're close to things and you're packed in. You know, in apartment buildings you don't have a fucking garage, so it makes sense to not have as many cars. But like even in New York, there's an ass ton of cars.
I actually have a really good taxi story that has just been dug out of my childhood.
Oh, let me hear it.
Okay, so when I was a young man of probably like 10, maybe younger, my grandpa had a business conference for the company he was working with in New York, and he asked my family and my grandma if we wanted to come with him. We could stay in his hotel because his apartment rented him out like the business luxury suite, had like 3 bedrooms, super fucking nice hotel room in the middle of New York, like near Times Square. And it was all paid for. So he's like, you can just come. No big deal. So we do, and it's great. So me and my mom and my grandma and my sister are like, we want to go visit, like, maybe it was like the Empire State or something. We wanted to go somewhere kind of far away from where the hotel was because we wanted to visit. And so my mom hails a taxi, and we get in the taxi, and all 4 of us get in the back because nobody wants to sit up front with the taxi driver. And me and Jen are little, so we can. And traffic was really bad that day, so it was pretty much we were sitting still, and then we'd move up a little and sit still for another 5 minutes. And he was just like, oh, we'll get up here, and then like it'll break up, and we'll be able to drive. And so we're sitting there at this intersection, and this homeless guy, we had the windows down because it was hot. This homeless guy walks up and puts his fucking head in the window. and he starts asking for money. He's like, hey, you guys got any money? And my mom was like, no. And my grandma was like, well, how much do you need?
Oh God,
'Cause it's curly. And so the guy's like $5, and grandma's like, I have $1. And he's like, I'll take $1. And so my grandma hands him $1, thinking he'll go away.
I gave him $1.
We pull up a couple feet and stop again because the light turned red again. This fucker walks back over to the fucking door, and he's like, you got any more money? And my grandma's like, I gave you $1. And he's like, oh, all right. We start driving again. He fucking walks alongside the window of the taxi and just starts talking to us. He looks at me. He's like, how are you, young man? And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, you do anything exciting? And I think it was around my birthday because I got a new toy. Remember that little circle robot RC thing I had and the wheels popped out on the side?
Oh, yeah.
I was telling him about that. And I started talking to him about it. And fucking, I'm just like, talking about it. The fucking taxi driver turns around and goes, hey, the fuck away from my taxi. And this dude's like, hey, oh, my bad. And he just walks away. Like, and it's like a thing. And you could, and that was it.
I was kind of imagining like the homeless guy sticks his head in the window. The taxi driver's like, "Oh fuck!" Rolls up the window in the back, and his head starts going up.
The taxi driver didn't roll up the window till after he yelled at the guy. It was like, yeah,
Damn.
it was only like a 5-minute interaction, but like, what the fuck even?
Homeless people here are relentless.
Stuck his head in the window of a taxi that was moving.
Hey, you guys got any money?
Yeah, I
Hey,
forgot.
young man, how you doing?
Yeah, he started asking me about my toys. Yeah, I thought he was cool. I didn't realize until later that was fucking weird.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was an older person. Like now, I'm like, that's fucked.
Quick question:
Go
is
for it.
Tokyo split into boroughs like New York is,
Prefectures?
or like
Boroughs?
anything? Well, like
It's
you
split
know
into-
how it's like there's the Bronx and Brooklyn. Is
Yeah,
that, is
yeah,
it like
or
that
wards,
in Tokyo?
like wards.
I guess. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know what it's called. I didn't pass geography, dude.
Nah,
Yeah,
dude,
they
but
call
he,
'em-
He used the right term.
Yeah, they call them wards.
He used the right term.
Boroughs is the right term, right?
Yeah,
I wasn't-
that's a proper term.
Okay, I was about to say.
I think it's an
that's
older
hard.
term, but it works because North Canton has boroughs.
All right. Just
I
wanna make
think
sure.
it's the same thing, but just a different word.
What would you say is the busiest one?
I always thought it was prefectures for Japan.
No.
Prefectures is like a bigger.
You
chunk of
could
the
you could
country.
compare prefectures to states here. So like Ohio prefecture, West
Canada's
Virginia
split into
prefecture.
prefectures.
Yeah, they have like Ontario and
Canada's not
stuff.
a real,
Ontario
Canada's
is a
not a real
city.
country.
Ontario's a city.
Oh, I don't know
There's
anything
like
about Canada.
What is it? One like
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland, British Columbia. I don't fucking
Shit
know.
like that.
Shit like that. The busiest ward in Tokyo. That's tough.
Chiba.
Chiba's a prefecture.
Chiba.
Chiba's a prefecture.
Tokyo.
Tokyo's a city.
I don't know any
If
of
I
the
had to
Tokyo
guess,
words.
Luke, there's 3 that I would say. That's either Shinjuku, Chiyoda, or Shibuya. I would guess.
I would say.
I would guess Chiyoda. That's
Really?
like that's like the center of Tokyo.
Japan is a country split into prefectures that are split into cities that are split into wards
It does get.
Yeah.
It can
that
kind
are
of
split
confuse
into
So you
me.
said-
neighborhoods.
Shinjuku, Chiyoda, and what else?
Shibuya.
Shibuya.
Oh, Shibuya.
Yeah. It's either one of those.
I like the
3, I
name
would
of that
assume.
one. Shibuya has been my favorite name
Shibuya.
so
That's
far.
with the crossing, man. 3?
Echizen has been also a personal favorite, but that's for
Dude, I'd love to go to Echizen.
that's for personal reasons.
I was watching a show. Actually, it was an anime, and Echizen was brought up in it. I was
Really?
crazy surprised to see that. Oh, that was a nice voice
That was a
crack.
nice one. All right. So, how were you talking about populations in terms of how like Japan doesn't have a lot of traffic? To put in perspective, Brooklyn is 69.5 square miles. There are 2.6 million people in those 69.5 square miles. When you compare that to, let's go with Shinjuku. Shinjuku is 7.039 square miles. There's 337,000 people in that.
Really?
So when you compare it, there's a lot more people in a density than there is in fucking Tokyo.
Yeah.
Which is weird that more people have cars in that area. That
It's the
boggles my
fucking
mind.
Bronx, baby. What do you want?
Are you gonna walk in the Bronx? I think the fuck
Yeah, I'm not
not.
gonna walk.
I don't know. You're gonna lose your fucking tires if you park on the road.
I'd rather lose my tires.
You
than
put
get
them in
shanked.
the car carousels that lift your car up off the ground.
Yeah.
That's so weird. You know?
I mean,
Okay.
No, like
All right.
like I know people who have moved to New York, and one of the things they did, they got rid of their car. You're in a city. You're not really gonna
Public transport.
be. Yeah, you're gonna be walking around. Everything's pretty jam packed together,
If you're
right?
going to New York, you can sure as fuck use the extra money.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like,
City will bleed you
it's
dry.
crazy how much traffic there is when everything's so compact together. It doesn't make sense.
I think a lot of the population from Tokyo comes from, so like they kind of split Tokyo up in central Tokyo and the greater Tokyo region. It's kind of like a big
it's like a weird
crescent
circle.
moon
Yeah,
area,
yeah.
crescent moon thing. The greater Tokyo area goes out farther and it's more suburban, you could call it. I think that is generally bumped into the central Tokyo region. It's like the population as total is like 37 million. But I think a lot of it comes from the outer Tokyo. So it makes perfect sense that, like, what'd you say the Bronx was like 2.8 million?
Brooklyn was like 2.6 million people.
2.6 million people. And like Shinjuku was 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is fucked. That is insane.
It's fucked.
That is fucked.
It's fucked.
And what's funny, there's more people that live in Tokyo than there are people that live in New York.
Yeah.
By like a million.
Everybody that lives in New York lives
Lives
in the Bronx.
Everybody that lives in New York lives in one apartment complex on the corner of the street.
in the Bronx.
In Brooklyn.
It's always the Bronx. Always has.
Jay-Z's from Brooklyn.
I thought you were gonna say Jay is from Brooklyn.
I thought he was.
Jay is from Brooklyn.
What's Brooklyn's area code?
44396.
It's a
No, it's
4-digit
not.
area
No,
code.
it's not.
I don't know.
I just want to shout out. Hold on.
Don't-
Shouts to the 718
Yeah, shouts to
or the
718
917.
or the
Shouts.
929. You know, it
Shouts.
doesn't matter.
What's the 90210 is LA, right?
Yes.
That's a zip code, like an area code.
90210 is Los Angeles. That's why the show 90210 takes or Beverly Hills.
Beverly
sorry.
Hills 90210.
It's Beverly Hills 90210.
No, I like.
It'd be like Canton 447.
My favorite show about Beverly Hills is the Beverly Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies.
I don't know about you guys, but I like
Is it-
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yeah, I really, really love.
Yeah, I think that was George Lopez at his best.
Agreed.
I can't honestly say I've ever enjoyed George Lopez.
No, I have.
You didn't like him as Mr. Electric and Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
was his prime.
I'd like to take my statement back. He's actually.
He actually did a really good
Yeah,
job
he
of the
did.
role.
He did well there.
All right, well, George
Sure.
Lopez.
Thank you for
Yeah.
tuning into that.
George Lopez, if you would like to be on the Horny Podcast.
He can't do that. He's too busy cheating on his wife.
George Lopez.
Oh yeah,
Bang, 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 bang.
he got caught cheating on his wife like 3 times.
Every celebrity
Look at him.
has.
No.
Have we all had that experience of like waking up in the middle of the night to Lowrider playing on
Yes,
TV?
yes.
I'm glad.
A lot of times when I would stay at a
Thorpe, can you go?
no,
Oh
no.
my-
A lot of times when me and Anthony would stay at Cone's house, I would wake up at like 4 a.m. to Roseanne, like every single fucking weekend.
Roseanne always was always on at like 4
It
a.m.
was either Roseanne, Home Improvement, or George Lopez.
Dude, I forgot Home Improvement.
Those were the
existed.
3 shows that existed
You know
at
there was
late
a
night
Home
television.
Improvement NES game.
There's a Corey in the House DS game.
I played it.
Is it good?
No,
Damn.
it's just like the Sweet Life on Deck and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody DS game. It was the
those
same.
ones were,
Ga-
those ones were good.
it was the same game. They just reskinned it.
Those were good though.
I disagree. No, they did a Home Improvement NES game, and you played as Tim Allen, and you took a nail gun and you ran through shooting at like handymen, and you had to collect parts and tools because
Or Tim Allen. got
no,
it
you were
from
doing
my-
you were
Did they
doing.
help fasten drywall?
It was the whole premise of the show was you were on the like home, you know how he did that like show Home Improvement, like that was the premise of the show. You were filming an episode of Home Improvement, and some hooligans came and stole all the tools, and you had to go rescue the
As
tools.
Tim the Toolman Taylor,
Yes.
Too many T's.
I think that's the point.
I hate that this actually goes into what I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
I was going to
Christ.
talk about nostalgic cartoons and
Mother-
shows as kids,
Oh, it does.
God.
and this dead ass just perfectly led into it.
Good topic. Let's talk about it.
I did like this because we were actually talking about it was. I think Jacob, Andy, and I were talking about cartoons we used to watch as kids on like Monday.
I've already got mine.
Go for it.
Send it.
Go for it.
Invaders In.
Oh God,
That's a
dude! I
fucking
completely
great one.
forgot
It's gotta
about
be
Vader's
that.
In.
So I actually brought up TV channels. You guys remember Jetix?
Hardly.
I don't think
Hardly.
I watched
And it became
too
like-
much.
It became like some Disney sellout
I'm
channel
gonna say
after that.
I don't think I remember that.
Jay, that's weird because
That's
I
actually-
remember watching JetX at your house
I might
more
ju-
often than mine.
It was like the weird metal ball with an X was
Yeah,
their logo.
dude, yeah.
Show me the logo.
It was like
maybe,
Chrome.
maybe
I'll find
I'll
it real
It
fast.
remember.
looked like Chrome or something.
Yeah, it was Chrome.
Really?
So
yeah.
I might have been pretty young, dude. Like,
Oh yeah,
that is
yeah.
Oh,
you
fuck
were.
yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. What shows did they have? They had Kim Possible.
yes, Kick Buttowski actually premiered on this
I
channel.
thought Kim Possible was Disney.
That's what I
truly, I truly don't remember that.
I
I was gonna say.
I remember it, but it's very.
I was because
foggy.
I you know, I'm just like a hair
And
younger
I-
than you guys,
Mhm.
all of you. So it's like that might be that weird tiny gap between things that I won't remember that you do.
So I decided to put like the obscure shows that were on this that I can remember. Did you guys watch Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go?
No.
You know, I
Where-
can't.
no.
Where it was robot monkeys that turned into a giant monkey. So it was Voltron if they were Power Rangers and monkeys.
What the hell was going on in this show?
Dude, this was like early 2000s bullshit. This is what they got away with.
Kind of sounds epic.
Do you
Right?
guys
Like, as a kid, you're
do you
like,
guys
"That's sick."
remember Total Drama Island?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
show
a
was
great.
oh,
to,
dude. I
dude.
loved
Dude,
Total
they
Drama
got away
Island.
with nudity on that show.
They
one
got
time.
away with a
They
lot
did?
of
They
this
did.
show.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
There was
did.
this
I
one
remember
scene
that.
where the one chick with the big milkers and the black hair got pulled. They were doing mud jet skiing, and she got on the jet ski, and the dude, Chris, I think was his name.
He was like the host.
He was the
wasn't he?
host. He had Chef drive her through a bush, and when she came out of the bush, her shirt was missing, and mud splashed up for like that brief second, but it was just mostly boob, where you could see everything but the nips, and then she went like that real quick.
Wow,
They-
that's
Oh
The show was
that's
whack.
etchy for American cartoons.
You can't get away with that shit now, but
No.
like they did a lot of shit like that.
Remember
Wow.
16?
Yeah,
Yes.
I
That
do.
is a weird fever dream for
It
me.
is
Wow.
a very weird fever
Oh
dream.
my
The
God.
Canadian
The
fucking
guy that worked at the lemonade stand.
and was always high.
Yeah.
God, dude,
That show
I
made
totally
16 sound cool.
it did.
Yeah, but
It
and
that
made
was-
16
was
sound cool.
not.
I was like, damn, I can't wait to be 16. I can drive and shit. And then I got 16. I was like, this fucking sucks.
That show was called 16. It should have been called 21 and not going anywhere. That's
Yeah.
more what it was like.
The entire show is basically being a fucking loser that hung out at the mall all day.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Like, you're as a kid, you're like, oh man, that'd be pretty cool. And then you grow up, you're like, this is for fucking losers.
Yeah, yeah.
What dip ass has nothing else to do
did you
with
guys
their day?
did you guys used to watch was it Rocket League?
It was Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
That's it. Rocket League. Fuck
All
me.
the-
It was the
sports kids.
skateboard
Dude,
show.
it's really old.
Like
it's
the
an old
dad-
show.
that's like
Hawaiian.
90s, like early 90s.
Yeah, it's like one of those 90s
Like
cartoons.
96 to 96 or around there.
I got a
Yeah,
kicker.
that's
Show
well-
him a picture. He
That's
might
well,
remember.
that's well
it.
before my time by about
It was-
four-
it's before
four-
It's
mine.
before all of our
Yeah.
time. Like, this was just shows that were on when,
But I remember watching
like, if you
it.
ever got on like the old Nicktoons, these were always shows that were
Rocket
on.
Power.
And there was like this kid, this fucking loser.
That's
Yep.
the motherfucker
Yeah.
I
Yep,
remember.
I remember it.
Yeah, that show was sweet. It made like X Sports really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that you just won't remember from the name, and then you'll see a
Yeah.
picture like,
Mm-hmm.
I actually do remember that show.
You guys remember Codename Kids Next Door?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
That show was awesome.
Fucking love
The one
that
episode
show.
that sticks out in my mind is
Don't say it. I know what you're
they
going to
were
say.
fighting
It's
the
so
old
gross.
people, and they all wanted tapioca.
Oh, okay, that's a different episode. I thought he was
Which one
talking
are
about
you
the one
talking
with
The eyes.
the one where they made pies and the lunch lady made them out of
crust.
eye crust,
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
I
That
don't
show was
know.
really
like-
That
gross.
makes me sick
and
though.
like it gave people pink eye, and she would scrape the eye crust off their eyes and put it on the pie.
And it was the secret ingredient that made it taste good.
It's fucking nasty.
The one fat kid whose name, I think it was like
It's number
Number
two.
two.
That was number two.
That was
Was
number
that
two.
two? I think
his name was
that was number
Tommy.
I was gonna say four. Four was the chick.
Number one was the bald kid.
Yeah,
Number
number
two
two.
was the
Blue, shit with the blue shirt.
yeah.
I think
was
three
the guy
was the
with-
sassy black
Three,
girl.
no,
No,
three
three
was
was the
green
Asian girl.
I thought she was four.
no.
No,
Four was
four is
the
the dude.
Yellow
the
hair?
blonde kid with the bowl cut and
Two
the
was a
orange hoodie.
Oh,
complete
number
chotch.
five's the sassy black girl.
Five.
Yeah.
is- Who was six?
There was no six. There was five
Well,
of
they
them.
never explained who
Yeah,
six was.
yeah.
They all had numbers,
Yeah.
but there were only five in the main Codename Kids Next Door.
I want to
kids.
say the number one's name was like Chad or something.
No, it was Nigel Uno.
Nigel. That's
Wow.
right. Jeez. Oh, that's
Luke.
great. Speaking of Nigel, do you remember the wild thornberries?
Oh, of course.
Dude,
Dude, talk about fever
like my
dreams.
favorite subreddit.
Oh, Nigel Thornberry subreddit.
Dude, do you guys subscribe to the Nigel thing?
I know what it is.
Oh, it's
awesome.
fucked, man.
It's so good. It's like
That
dead
show was-
now, but
God.
He's got to be the coolest dad in all cartoons.
no,
ever.
he was not.
Oh yeah, he
the
was.
biggest dweeb.
I say.
Oh, dude, he was great. I loved
Big
him.
ass overbite.
I loved him.
That
His
show just kinda
mustache.
shit on Brits. It really did.
Only he had a
Sorta.
British accent.
They all
Yeah.
No, the
no,
daughter
it was
didn't.
just Nigel.
The daughter didn't. The son pretended to be
The
a
monkey
monkey.
did.
The son was a monkey.
There was a
Yeah.
real monkey.
There was?
There was a real
the monkey. had a
monkey.
British accent.
The
When he
monkey, the monkey could talk, but the kid couldn't. So we
Oh.
always go.
What was the kid's name?
I don't.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say like, I don't even know. Like fucking.
talked. Edmund.
No, I'll know it once I hear it.
Oh,
I forget what the show looks like.
fuck.
There it is.
Donnie.
Donnie.
Show us Nigel.
Oh, Donnybrook.
Give us Nigel.
Oh.
Is it Donnybrook?
Don't soil that name.
Let me
My
see
old buddy
Nigel.
Donnybrook.
There he is.
Yeah.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Did you see his eyes? They're like spread apart.
What a fucking chat.
I did
dude.
have probably the most obscure show I could think of that you will either know it or think I'm fucking crazy for calling this a show. Biker Mice from Mars.
You're crazy as fuck. Buddy.
Literally is a show about Martian mice that come down to Earth and ride bikes and form a biker gang.
Okay, I have a question for everyone here.
Yeah.
You guys played probably like PS2
You watch
when you were
Wacky
little.
Racers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It was on
Wacky
Boomerang?
Races. And there was a Penelope Pit Stop from the Perils of Penelope Pit Stop.
Back to my question. You guys played PS2?
Yeah.
Do you remember a game called Butt Ugly Martians?
Fuck yeah, I do. I got that for Christmas.
What?
Look it up.
They had Butt Ugly Martians, and then there was one where it's like Butt Ugly Martians Racing.
It was we played a racing game.
You're like aliens on Mars.
I remember the fucking theme song in my head.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me
like
see it. I need to
Dude,
see
they look
this.
like gorillas.
What?
yeah.
We played the shit out of that game.
Great. This is bringing back a memory I
Luke,
didn't know
see
I
if there's-
had.
See if there's a racing one, because I think that's what.
That's
No,
what we
that's
played.
bringing
We
back
played
a
a racing
memory I
one.
didn't know I had because those faces look familiar. I
Right?
don't know
We
why.
had the butt ugly
the
Martians.
Butt Ugly
dude.
Martians.
Wasn't one of
They
them like a
wrote-
nerd?
that's it.
One was a
But
Chad?
Ugly Martians, Zoom, or Doom.
Yeah,
me see it, let me
I
see
played
it.
the hell out of that game.
God,
Yeah, they're on like the hover thing.
I remember
And they're-
that.
I remember, dude. I remember those 6 tail lights
I remember
flawlessly.
the fucking.
Yeah, that's a fever dream right there.
That is.
Oh, did you guys play Jack and Daxter? I know Jonathan.
Yeah, we
did.
Jack
played
and
Jack.
Daxter
I played
was
the
sick.
fuck out
Yeah.
of Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter
dude.
still is one of my
Jack
favorite
3
video games
was
ever.
the best in that series.
I agree. Jack 3 was good.
You got
as
the
shit.
hoverboard.
Jack
There was like
3,
pretty
yeah.
much an open world. Like
You could still go back to his old setting, Jack 2.
Although in Jack
The
1,
Crimson Guards were like blue in that game, weren't they?
they were blue and red.
Yeah, it depended on the area. I think in the more futuristic area they were blue,
Okay.
and they were also harder
In
to
Jack
fight.
1, you know, there was the old guy with the one big
Yeah.
glass in his log. His daughter was a baddie.
His hot daughter.
Yeah.
Look up.
She had
look
blue
her
hair.
up.
What is the name of the girl Crimson Guard?
Oh, she was fucking. I want her to step on me.
Yo, I just
She would.
I just remember whenever we were younger, we would play the game and unlock the hoverboard and then just shred.
Oh
They
yeah,
had the half pipe. You could go
yeah,
fucking.
we would just go
gnarly in it.
gnarly on the shredder.
metalheads and everything.
Oh,
Fuck.
Dude, I remember the scatter
Crimson
gun for some
The
reason.
scattergun was sweet. I remember
Yeah.
the first gun you got was the shotgun. It was red.
Yeah, that's the
And
scatter
then the
gun.
second one, you
I'm
held it
getting
in and it made like a ring on the ground.
The guns were cool. The game
Yeah.
was so fun.
I remember the guy's name. I think his name was Thorn. That was the male Crimson
Thorn.
Guard.
He was
Torn.
with the really raspy
Torn,
voice.
Torn, yeah.
Jack.
I just really
Hey,
remember
Jack.
whenever you would get all
Beat
the dark
metalheads.
All the dark matter.
oh, Dark Jack.
the
what
dark
fuck
matter
was
and
it
you turn
called?
into I don't remember what it was called, but you turn into Dark Jack
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like instead of using a gun, you fucking beat him up.
Dude, remember the bomb when you would go whoop and you'd hit the ground and boom?
Yeah, it would go slow mo.
I remember
Yeah.
getting the cars, and the one that I remember more vividly than any of them is the one that had the like wheels really far out front, really far in back, and when you hit a button, it jumped.
Oh yeah, the hopper.
Yeah.
The hopper one.
Oh, that was so fun, dude.
Did you guys have you guys had GameCubes, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Did you guys ever play Digimon World 4?
No.
That
You
is
have
a-
it still.
I have it. That is
Yeah.
a game that I have put more hours in than any other game in my life, I would
Really?
say.
You
I
said it's
actually-
really good.
I actually still have almost every dungeon memorized,
Really?
like how to get through them. I still
Dude,
remember
you
like
could do
almost all of
Digimon speedrun for the hell of
it.
arm.
I literally could.
That'd be sweet.
It would
honestly.
take like 4 hours.
My favorite GameCube game was WarioWare. That
I
was,
love
WarioWare did.
Wario.
no WarioWare.
Wario.
Wario Incorporated. Same thing.
Wario. I thought it was just WarioWare.
Wario
I always
Inc?
knew it as Wario Incorporated.
I remember Wario Incorporated.
Whatever. It was the one with all the mini games.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Wario Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
That game was fucking
big embarrassing
Great.
fact for me and Alex.
Yeah.
Our most played GameCube game was Shrek 2.
What?
I love the shit
Wait,
out of
I had
2.
Shrek 2. Is that the one that you like? It was like
You could
4
ch-
people and you
yeah,
could play
you could-
between like
Yep.
Donkey
You
or
could
another
change
character.
characters.
That game was sick.
I
Unironically,
agree. Was that
Donkey
game not fucking awesome?
It was like Nicktoons
Donkey,
Unite,
Fiona,
but with.
Shrek, and Puss in Boots.
You could also
But
be
it would also
Gingy.
switch out because there was one mission where you played
Yeah.
as Red Riding Hood.
Dude,
there
it was
was
honestly a
I don't
fun
think
ass
I
game.
ever put any time into that game.
It was like Nicktoons
dude, it
Unite,
was
but with
fun.
Shrek
It was
characters.
fun.
It's dope.
Nicktoons Unite fucked too.
Fucking.
Did you guys?
I do remember though, in Digimon World 4, you would actually get a specific weapon to the character you're playing as if you beat every single dungeon without save quitting from the game. So I did that, and the fastest I did it, I think, was like 5 hours.
Luke, you got to speedrun this.
5.5 hours. I mean, if I could, it wouldn't be a legit speedrun, but I could do it with my character that I have.
That'd be sweet.
Dude, there are so many games that I remember so fondly. Like Star Wars Battlefront.
Hours.
Two,
Hours
one and two.
both of them.
Both of them were fantastic.
Yeah.
But, not crazy long ago, I whipped out Battlefront, and I think, Luke, you played it with me.
Yeah, we were together.
Yeah, we played it together, and...
We got our shit stomped.
We got our
every
shit stomped.
time.
Really?
Dude,
The controls
the controls are whack as fuck.
They're intuitive.
And, dude, the render distance is so much worse than I remember it. Like
I remember
enemies
a
don't
lot.
spawn.
I
anymore.
remember being able to snipe. And in this game, when we were playing it, like, if it's from here to the door, you can't tell. Like, it's
just a glowing red laser that kills you.
That being said, I had a blast playing.
I had a fun
I had
time.
a great time.
It's such
I had a
fun
really fun
game.
time. We ended up losing a mission because the NPCs killed themselves too much.
Yeah, because
We were holding out in a corner.
you know how it's like in Conquest. There's the enemy team's lives and then your lives.
And you get like the tickets if
Yeah,
they
the
die.
command
Yeah.
post.
And
Yeah.
so me and Luke, there were 2 lives left. It was just me and Luke held up in this corner. We didn't have rocket launchers. A tank came. We destroyed the tank by ourselves. Without another tank came, we're like, we did it once. We can do it again. An NPC spawns in and dies immediately. We lost.
That sucks.
It was such horseshit.
I was
man.
so sad because we were surviving. Like we were down like 160 tickets. We were mounting the comeback.
Do you know what
We
map
were down
you
to
were on?
like 4. We like 4 more
was
kills.
like-
We would have won.
Yeah, it was like 2 to 160. We got it 2 to 4. And then
What
lost.
map were you on?
I don't remember.
I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one in the movie where Obi-Wan fights General Grievous.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where it's that
with
big
like the
hole in the center.
Yeah,
there's
yeah. I keep
platforms
wanting to say Kashyyyk, but I know
It's not Kashyyyk.
I really liked Hoth. That was my
Everyone
favorite.
loves
Hoth was cool.
Snow speeders.
Geonosis was dope.
Geonosis was
Geonosis
sweet.
was cool
That
until
was-
the bugs came.
That was just Mars.
Yeah.
But going back to the shows, we actually ended up watching a lot of like old cartoons that night. We watched the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Hold on.
Don't ask.
That's the 2D animated one, right?
That is the one where it's live action for the
Oh,
beginning,
no,
and then
never
it
mind.
switches to the 2D animation.
Because
and
I
then
remember,
back.
I remember on YouTube a
So
while, like
bad.
years ago, they made things called. There was a big trend in things
I-
called YouTube poop.
Well, yeah, no, that's from the Super
That
Mario
is
Brothers
that?
Super Show. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I had
literally
no
it starts
idea.
off as live action,
Uh-huh.
switches to that cartoon, and then goes back to live
I had
action.
no idea. We thought YouTube poops were the funniest thing in the fucking world.
They used to be.
But we
yeah.
watched
They're
that.
so bad now.
Oh,
we
yeah.
watched a show called Sonic Underground.
Oh.
Which, first off, the OP is a bop. That is a banger. Second of all, it's a Sonic show where Sonic is actually part of a set of triplets
What?
that are the Queen's kids, and the Queen has to run away from Dr. Eggman, so he starts up a band with magical musical instruments that he uses to fight Eggman with, but he can also run fast.
I have such a deep-seated, preoccupying, bubbling hate for Sonic. Like,
I've never liked
I
Sonic.
boat.
despise Sonic. I hate the games. I hate what he stands for. It's just that
Sonic says yes to racism.
I was about to say, I'm like,
Fuck
dude,
you,
Sonic's
Sonic,
a
you
fucking
racist pig.
But we watched Code Lyoko.
That sounds really familiar.
It was the French
Really
anime
familiar.
that used like 3D CGI modeling for like the video game world characters. And I was watching it.
Fuck me, I know exactly
And I
what
was
that
watching-
is.
Do? I can't
Yes.
remember it.
And I was watching it, and I was like,
Hold on, I
God,
gotta
this,
look this
I was
up.
like, God, this is gonna look disgusting, isn't it? And I watched it, I'm like, this is animated actually like stupid well.
I
I'm pissed
remember
about
that
it.
What's it called again?
Code Lyoko.
one fucking scene. I cannot describe it well, but like some character transforms or some shit. I know exactly what it is.
No.
Let me see that.
Oh my fucking god.
Now,
dude.
granted, it came out in like 2001 or something like that. The animation for it is actually still like really good.
2001.
Like
Luke, that is crazy. I totally forgot about this
Like,
fucking show.
it does. It's some of the CGI is still better than shows that we've watched recently, and that's just a fact.
It's better than
Hey,
Love Live
buddies.
Spoiler Project.
Like,
Hey, guys.
Anthony, do you remember these characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
they transform into 3D.
yeah, look.
Yeah, I fucking remember
Hey,
that.
fellas, this shit ringing any bells?
Dude, we did watch an episode of Puka. That show fucking
was-
blows dicks.
No, it's
Oh,
great.
Puka
No,
great.
we watched an episode.
I refuse to believe it.
It's I didn't want to believe it either.
I
I was
love
watching. I was like, I love this
Nope.
show, and I watched. I'm like,
Can't do it.
this is
I don't believe it.
You know what
I
show?
love it too much.
It's not old, or not old by any standards, but I fucking loved this show. It was Gravity Falls.
Oh hell yeah!
I
that
like
show was
Gravity
awesome.
Falls.
I adored
That
Gravity Falls.
story got fucking deep towards the end. If you watched it,
No, I just remember the funny Grunkle Stan bit.
Uncle Stan, are you sure you're not blind? Nah, but with these cataracts, I might as well be.
He was
What is
funny.
that, a woodpecker?
He was funny as fuck.
What is that, a woodpecker?
And then he drives off the road and crashes into a tree.
God, it's so stupid.
Oh, the fucking Loch Ness
Look, I can't
monster
get
is
over- I
actually a
can-
submarine
But this all
made
leads.
by a homeless man.
This all leads to the fact that we actually started watching the new Animaniacs reboot.
Oh, okay.
And I swear to God, that is still as funny as the old Animaniacs. It is just as funny as I remember.
Is it still just as bordering on not okay?
Yes.
Great.
Dude, they like literally episode 2, they talk about how, it's been 100 years for women's suffrage. They're like, well, I want to vote too. Dot's like, I want to vote too. And they're like, you don't have rights as a cartoon. So they have a whole protest where like George Jetson, fucking Yogi Bear, fucking the Flintstones, and they're all there. It's literally the Flintstones. Fucking they're all there having a protest for cartoon rights to vote.
Holy shit, that's pretty epic.
Episode 1, the Warner Brothers and Dot show up to Warner Brothers studio, and as they're walking, it's like all the big names of like Warner Brothers, like I think it was like Batman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, all that. They're literally sitting there like punching them to the side, and they're like flying off and exploding in the background, like just disrespecting all the IPs of Warner Brothers.
God.
Every single chance they get to talk about how they're sellouts for rebooting the show, and they're like wearing Hulu merch with a big check from Hulu. Like they had a whole song about how, oh man, everything just gets rebooted now because everyone's too lazy to write their own shows and make an original content. And then at the end, they're all in Hulu merch and like, here's your check. They're like, we never said we weren't sellouts too.
That's some edgy shit. That's funny that they called on
Dude,
that.
I laughed so hard. And then in the very first episode, it's been 22 years since this show aired, by the way. Last episode aired in 1998. So it's been 22 years. They write a song about how they've been gone for 22 years. Well, the show was written in 2018. So when they get to 2018 and the song that they wrote about all the things they missed, they're like, yeah, we'll just make up what happens in the next 2 years. One of them was that we would all be underground and we'd have to live underground and wouldn't be able to leave our houses. This was written in 2018. The other one, and it pissed Andy off when I said this, they're like, there'll be a new hit show about an inspector car that time travels. And I said, that's just Amelia Watson, but a car.
Wow.
They predicted VTubers.
And I swear to God, it was fucking hilarious. I actually want to watch the other 9 episodes of it. It's 13 episodes for this season. It is hilarious.
I want to watch Code Lyoko. That fucked me up.
They
seeing
even
that.
redid the Pinky and the Brain intro. They like reanimated it.
Oh,
it looks
really?
really good.
God,
It looks
Pinky and the
really good.
Brain.
Wow.
That show was epic.
Fucking Pinky makes a Leroy Jenkins. He goes Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins!
And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, that is such an old meme. And then I thought, I'm like, literally, Animaniacs was not around for Leroy Jenkins to be birthed. They can make memes about literally anything from the past, and it's relevant for them because they haven't been around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for the funny haha yellow dog meme to show up.
Yellow
Oh,
dog.
dude, the
meme.
old World of Warcraft Leroy Jenkins. That's
They did Leroy Jenkins, so I'm just waiting for Doge to show up and say something, I don't know, racist or something.
wow.
But like, they make a lot of jokes about like women's rights and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, how'd this get aired?
Maniacs don't care. They're maniacs.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's just as like borderline offensive as it always has been.
This has been weird.
I know.
I
dude,
feel-
that's weird.
I feel odd
I feel weird.
because it's making me feel old, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's shows that I watched that I can remember, and then I look at when they aired, and I'm like, dude, I was like 8. Like That's fucked.
Like in the intro, they have like a statement about gender equality, and then it's wacko and yakko in one side, and then dot in the other.
Jeez.
They're like, yeah, gender equality. I'm like, what the fuck? How?
Motherfuck my ass.
What?
Luke, you might know this, so don't say anything because you were just talking about it. Twins, when did the first episode of Invaders Zim? What year did it air?
I want to say,
Honestly, dude, I would say like 2001.
yeah, something like that.
2001. You're
yeah.
right. When did the last episode air?
Probably like fucking 2003.
Dude, the last episode came out in 2006.
I was gonna say 2006.
Dude.
That was gonna be my guess.
And it didn't finish.
No, it didn't finish. They
The
finished
the movie was really good, actually.
2 seasons.
It took him 5 years to write 2 seasons.
It was really good. The
I
the
love
finale they made.
It was only it was a 2-season show. I feel like there was probably a lot of there was how many episodes were there? There were
It's a cartoon's
Yeah.
2 seasons, not like an
Yeah.
anime's 2 seasons. Where like a cartoon's 2 seasons is like it just goes for a whole fucking year.
there was 2 seasons of 34 episodes.
I feel it just seems
there
like
was
16 episodes.
There was well, no, the first season had 20.
Oh,
And
okay.
the second season had 14. And then they made a movie, but like that is
The movie was really good.
I don't know if I've seen it. I feel like I have,
I
but
have
it's just
not.
been so long.
It's very recent that the
Is
movie
it?
came out.
Oh, yeah, I
the
probably
movie
haven't seen it
just
then.
came out like last year or the year before.
Was...
I sat down and watched it with my sister. It was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved Invaders Zim.
That,
was, yeah.
also the final season of Samurai Jack.
Oh,
That
fuck.
was so
The
stupid
Invaders Zim
good.
movie came out in 2019.
Yeah.
That was pretty late to the party.
Well, because it never finished,
Yeah.
and then it finally got like it's just like how Rocko's Modern Life got a movie to finish it. Like it's just like
I gotta put this down.
I know,
like
dude.
people just made like a big thing about it. They're like, man, Invaders Zim never finished, and it's like it's such a popular
Well,
show.
fuck
Like
it, let's
Well,
finish
yeah, I'd be
it.
Fuck
pissed
it,
about
move
it. Too. I'm
Yeah.
pissed about it too. That show was amazing.
I loved it.
I love that show. Yeah,
Man, what a blast from the past.
the end of Samurai Jack though. Did you guys watch the final season of Samurai Jack?
I didn't watch any. I never watched Samurai Jack.
Fuck, dude. It got deep. It was a really serious last season of that show.
I think the whole show's
That
pretty
show's
serious,
always
isn't it?
The
Yeah,
whole show's
serious.
fairly serious, but like literally that last season, it was just a whole new level. Like it was not a kids show for by any means by the end. My favorite scene from Samurai Jack is that one. Fuck, I can't remember who it is, but did any you guys watch Samurai Jack, right?
I never
Very
did.
little.
You never did.
Very little.
I remember
Oh, fuck.
I'd like see it on TV
So, like,
and I'd turn it away.
There's a scene where he actually runs up against an assassin who's blind. So the entire episode is dead silent.
That's sweet.
All you hear is like snow crunching under feet.
Deaf or blind?
I think he was blind because that's why there's no talking.
But
That doesn't make sense.
Blind.
I can still talk.
Why would you talk and give away your position to a blind person who can only hear?
I
Oh,
was thinking like
okay.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, it took me a
I thought
minute
you were
too.
saying like the guy didn't talk because he was blind.
No.
Okay.
Like the whole
Samurai Jack didn't talk because the guy.
So the
okay,
whole entire episode is dead silence and just like just fight scenes, and
Okay.
all you hear is like snow crunching and
that's pretty
like
sick.
blades hitting. It's fucking awesome. That's like one of my favorite episodes in the whole series.
Man, I do feel old.
Natsukashi.
That's Kashi. Nah.
Man.
All right. Well, I think that's what we're gonna call it for today.
Yes, that's
Old cartoon.
Yeah, because we
that's
got
old.
some
That's
Genshin Impact to play. I'm very excited.
that's it for me, but that's fucked.
So that's the end of the episode, guys. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you can email us at helloharempodcast@gmail.com for any questions or concerns. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell button. That helps us out a lot. Like, comment, share the video, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. We will see you guys next week.